Hey everyone, it's Dr. Jeff LaCure. You know what time it is. It's time for your wake up call. Last week we were together and I highlighted for you the 7 C's to a successful relationship. A lot of nice feedback about that episode, but not enough feedback about that episode. So please, again, I even hate to ask, but like, subscribe, share, spread the word. This is your feel good channel. This is a channel that will allow you to feel better, to feel optimistic, and maybe even feel hopeful. Today, the 3 T's of a successful relationship. So last week we covered the 7 C's. Today, it's the 3 T's. And the very, very first one, this is such a critical one. Hell, they all are, is time. You have to spend, I know it sounds almost borderline silly, right? I'm suggesting that in order for you to have a successful relationship, you spend time with your partner. However, as many of you know, you don't. You prioritize other things over your relationship. I know you do. It's a national phenomenon. And remember last week I talked about a big C, compromise. Well, time should never be compromised. Your relationship has to be number one. I'm telling you, it has to be number one. The divorce rate right now in our country is over 60%. What does that mean? If you get married today, you have a slightly greater than 60% chance of ending up in divorce. The average length of a marriage right now in our country is 5.7 years. Think about how quickly that goes by. Now, there's a lot of factors involved in that, and we'll talk about them later. But today's focus is how to not only extend the beauty and success of your relationship, but really the essentials of the quality and the depth. And time is the fuel. Time is the core. Time is the foundation. And it must be, your relationship must be a priority. If you are in a relationship and you prioritize your career over the relationship, guess what happens to the relationship? It has no chance of a long-term success. I'm not saying that your career isn't a priority. It absolutely is. It should be. You need finances. Financial stress is kryptonite to a relationship. However, you have to find that balance. And without time, and time nurtures a relationship, heals a relationship, creates depth and intimacy in a relationship. Without time, if you focus on your career, good. Hey, I hope you have a great career. And I hope you enjoy paying child support and alimony. How about that one, right? So I wish that on no one. You cannot prioritize your children, that's the controversial one, over your relationship. You must find a balance. You must find a balance. But your relationship must be the top priority. If you're married with children and a career, your marriage must be the essential top priority. That is not to suggest that our children are not incredibly important and they need us and they need our time. They really do. They need individual time. They need time with mom or dad. They need time as a family. And it is our role to find that balance. But do not sacrifice date nights to be, there it is. Can't get a sitter. Whatever it is. Don't do it. Make sure you have dedicated time with each other. And let me slide to one of my least favorite props. This is a time killer. If you bring this to bed for more than a couple of minutes, you are saying to your partner that our time together in bed is less important than me scrolling through any of my social media or scrolling through whatever it is you're scrolling through. Get that out of your system before it's time to shut down for the night. Don't watch TV or a movie together. Actually, I want you to. With your phone in your hand, with the volume up. Tune out the rest of the world and tune in to your partner. Time is synonymous with being present. It should not be an effort to have time with your partner. It should be something you hunger for, you lust for, you want, right? You should be bummed out if you didn't get great time with your partner on any given day. And please don't use the T word, that there's always tomorrow. No, tomorrow's not given. Today isn't given. But right now, this moment is. Take time. Create time. Be intentional about time. Make it enjoyable time. Do not think you are spending quality time with your partner if you talk about your career. Let me be honest with you. Dudes, let's say the dude's a lawyer. She doesn't care about your day. She doesn't care about a case you're on. It might be a little interesting or fascinating. You know what she cares about? That you took time to be invested in her, how she's feeling, how she's doing. And ladies, please, no guy wants to hear about a meeting you had and some loser person in the meeting, and then you go through the entire meeting with your husband or boyfriend or fiance for an hour about a meeting he didn't even attend. That's not time together. No electronic devices, no conversation about careers, or very limited, and be very careful about how much time you talk about the kids. You know, it blows my mind still today, and I'm a parent of 4 kids. They're all grown. They all played sports. It was done in a very balanced way. I am blown away how many couples sacrifice their time with each other to sit on the sideline while a 4-year-old plays basketball or runs track or whatever it is. And you know I love exercise and fitness, and it's great for you. But it can't be every Saturday and Sunday and twice on Thursday. It can't be. It's unbalanced. The amount of you that have adolescent children who spend your weekend at some AAU tournament for basketball or tournament softball where you're playing 6 games or you're doing something with volleyball or field hockey futures where your child doesn't end up playing Division I, which you think you're allowing them to do by sacrificing your time, wrong. Your kids' number one goal is to have happy parents. And parents are happy when they get to enjoy each other's company. I'm telling you right now, this entire podcast should just be on time. But I'm running out of time, and there's 2 more T's. Never forget it. Never sacrifice time. Make time for each other. Want to spend time with each other. There, I'm off my soapbox. Second T, such a no-brainer, but I want to define it, and that's trust, right? And a lot of you, when you hear trust, you're thinking, well, obviously, Dr. Jeff, I have to be able to trust that my husband or wife is not, involved in having an affair, whether it's physical, emotional, and or both. Right. You have to be able to trust that. But that's not the kind of trust I'm talking about necessarily. And yes, that's essential. Trust me, affairs do not strengthen a relationship. They never have. They never will. They are a red flag for what's going on in the relationship. And you know what happens, by the way, for affairs, and I'll do a podcast on why affair happens, and I'll probably do it sooner than later. is because couples aren't spending enough time together and they build the electricity and excitement with somebody else. Build it with your partner, and I'm unemployed. Back to the point. You need to trust. See, I'll speak on behalf of all men. Notice I didn't say males. Beat it. All men. If your wife is out with two of her friends, you should be able to trust that she is speaking of you as her husband in a high quality way. Almost bragging about you, about what an amazing man you are, an incredible partner, father, lover, all the above. Any woman, and I'll flip it, any woman who badmouths her husband to her friends, you can never take that back. Your friends will never forget. If you badmouth your husband to family, you may all of a sudden feel better about your husband, but your family never forgets what you said. And a man needs to trust that his wife or girlfriend or fiance always has his back. Doesn't mean she always agrees with him. Heck no. That's how he can trust her, because he knows she will voice her opinion and share it if he's falling short. That's trust. And the same is true. The same is true for men. If you are bad-mouthing your wife or partner when you're with your guy friends, with the dudes, well, first of all, you have some marital issues, and they can't unforget what you said. It's not cool. You could say, look, we're having some difficulties. You want to badmouth yourself? Yeah, I'm not a great husband. Yeah, I'm not a perfect wife. That's fine. But don't badmouth each other to other people. It doesn't help. Don't do it to your kids. See, one of the key elements of trust, the foundation of trust in a relationship, is loyalty. Think about that. You have to be able to trust that your partner has your back no matter what, even if they don't agree with you. They tell you they don't agree, and you work on things. But you don't want to feel like, wow, when I step out of the room, I'm getting talked about. When they're on the phone or on a Zoom call, not a sponsor, you know you're not being talked about in a negative way. You have to trust that your partner has your back, has your best interest. You have to trust that your partner is willing to do everything he or she could do to be the best version of themselves. You know what else is relationship kryptonite? Take your partner for granted. Seriously. See, I'm not going to be overly personal, even though every now and then I love to sneak it in. I trust my fiance that she is always working on being the best version of herself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I trust that. I'm not with her right this moment. I'm in the studio. And I trust that she's doing all four things. And I know for a fact she trusts that in me. Right? She knows it's trust. I'm not out right now pounding down 24 beers. By the way, I hardly drink. She knows I'm not doing fentanyl. She knows I'm not running around on the side. And I know the same about her. See, trust. I trust that she is a great employee. I trust that she has our relationship's best interest. I trust that she's my advocate and support. I trust. And all you have to do, folks, is do an inventory of your own relationship and ask yourself as you go through that mental checklist, do I trust my husband or wife or partner in all these areas? And if you don't, that is why I'm gainfully employed, because I can help you do that. But see, if you do all of those things and you invest time, you know what I'm going to say. I'm unemployed. And I've been blessed and privileged to be in the field of mental health and wellness this year, celebrating 40 years, which I know you're saying, I can't believe it. You must have started when you were 10, and for that, I thank you. And if any of you ever are thinking right now, Dr. Jeff, when you said you have been doing this for 40 years, you look like you've been doing it for 60, that's it. No more freebies, and you're not my friend. And by the way, I no longer trust you. Actually, I do, because at least you are honest, and I'm getting Botox. Back to the point. Trust is a foundational element of an amazingly great, satisfying, and intimate relationship. Time, trust, and the third T. And in some ways, if you have time and trust, the third T happens in this wonderfully beautiful, organic, intimate, and satisfying way. See how that was a dramatic pause to see if you could guess. And it's touch. And let me be clear, the layers of touch that I'm describing. I am not just describing sexual intimacy, although that is a wonderful form of connection, of communication, of possibilities, of building intimacy and a foundation of your relationship. But I'm talking about, do you guys, when you're going out, when you open the door for your partner, do you grab her hand and walk with her through the parking lot into wherever you're going? That level of touch, that hand-to-hand connection says, you're important to me. I value you. I'm proud of you. I want to show you off. Do you spend time each day in a deep, meaningful hug with your partner? Most of you don't. Please don't think a rapper's hug is a deep, meaningful hug. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, come on in. Good to see you. Right? I guess it's better than nothing. But you gotta hug. And please stop doing this. That weird, I'm kissing my Aunt Helen kiss goodbye. Bye. Bye. Kiss goodnight. Bye. Don't kiss at all if that's what you're doing. Seriously, you're mocking the experience. Do you know if you go in the morning, or when you're leaving, or when you come home? I feel like I'm calling a dog, by the way, which you should feel like, because it's doggish. You don't release endorphins. You don't release oxytocin. You don't release serotonin. All three of those make us feel great. Oxytocin bonds us and connects us as a relationship. But when you have a deep, meaningful kiss, one that can last for 4 to 6 seconds, bingo, release, connection. It's just so awesome. And frequently, when you have hand-holding and a hug and a kiss, frequently turns out to be a lovely makeout session. And all those feel-good chemicals are just flooding your brain and your bloodstream. Your immune system is jacked up. Your connection to your partner is jacked up. And speaking of jacked up, if you do that, you hold hands, you hug frequently, you make out, you kiss, you know it could lead to some other really cool things. And those really cool things jack up your immune system. Really good sex, and you define what that is. I can't tell you what it is, but we know it when it's there. Makes us closer to that person. That's the whole point biologically why it feels good. Imagine if sex, all the layers of sexual intimacy, felt like going to the dentist. No offense to all the dentists out there. Hate you, but no offense to you. All right? We wouldn't do it. There'd be no kids. But we now know that sexual intimacy in our DNA, in our genetics, isn't just about creating young people. It's about creating intimacy and closeness and a bond. I'll tell you right now, The amount of sexless marriages out there. And I'm not talking about people who've been, 30 years. And by the way, a lot of folks, 30 years, are still getting after it. God love you. Uh, I'm talking about people who've been married 3, 4, 5 years because they don't prioritize each other. They don't, I can't even say the word. I'm so fired up. They do not prioritize each other. So you must have healthy, frequent touch in your relationship, right? Mess with somebody's hair. Rub somebody's back. If their feet aren't overly sensitive, give them a foot massage. Do things. How could you possibly, I know on camera you can't see the couch that's to the right of me. Beautiful couch, by the way, right? Looks comfy. How can you sit on a couch next to somebody you love and not be sprawled out next to each other or rubbing each other or holding hands? What the heck is that? You know what a lot of you doing? You're on your phones while you're sitting next to your partner. Have fun making love to this device, and it's only a matter of time. It's coming. So let's review and wrap. The 3 T's. Time. Watch this, by the way. I really hope you do. You need to watch this with your partner, and then you need to have conversations. You need to have time. You need to create time. You need to accept no excuses why you're not spending time together. Quite frankly, if you're not spending time together, I think your relationship's this close to over. Think about it. When you were dating, you created time. When you were dating, you thought about that person all the time. When you were dating, you couldn't get enough time with them. You canceled things with friends. You left work early. You saw them during the week because the weekend was too far in between. And now you live together and you're not spending time together. Shame on you. But thank you, because I am gainfully employed. By the way, I'll have you on track in less than 6 sessions. Serious. I'll have you on track. A lot less expensive to see me and get it fixed than it is to see a divorce attorney. 2, trust. Trust each other. Trust each other that you have each other's back. Trust each other that you're not going to quit. Trust each other that you're not going to take each other for granted. Remember, kryptonite in a relationship is taking each other for granted. Kryptonite in a relationship is coming to bed in a sweatshirt. Dudes coming to bed in your black work socks. Really sexy, by the way, right? Trust that your partner will always be the best he or she could be. And if they're not, they will acknowledge it and work towards it. That's trust. And then, as I've already discussed at great length, you need to have daily touch. You really do. And enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, come see me. We'll figure it out. And maybe, just maybe, there's other things going on in the relationship. But I'm going to say it again as I close. Being in a committed relationship is not hard work. Doesn't take a lot of effort. The word work should never come up. Here's the words. I'm intentional. I'm focused. And I'm not patting myself on the back. Maybe a little. You know what I tell my fiance all the time? I almost don't want to tell you because it's something I tell her. So hopefully she doesn't get mad. She won't. I tell her all the time, she is my priority. I tell her all the time, our being in a couple is my priority. Every decision I make around my career, I think about how that may impact us. I turned down an opportunity to be on a television show for 12 weeks. Turned it down because I didn't believe that the sacrifice of time was even worth a minuscule of the potential fame. Now, to be completely transparent, when I turned it down, I told her, you're going to have to give me $10,000 a week to make up that cash. Obviously joking, it was 12, but hey, I was discounting it because yes, love has limits. God, I hope you all laugh at that one. But again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just telling you, I live what I talk about. I live my philosophy. and my relationship is far more important than fame. Because I promise you, when we get to our deathbed, and I hope mine's a long time coming, nobody says, hey, you know what? I got one day to live. Boy, would I have liked to had more fame or more money. Nope. Everybody says the same thing. I wish I had more time, and I wish I had spent more time with the people I love. This is Dr. Jeff LeCure, and guess what? This has been your wake-up call. You know I love you. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.